Real Madrid are officially washed. They stink. They actually hoon. These guys thought bringing in Mbappe would give them a free treble. You know, they were going to start farming XP, farming trophies, winning every single trophy. But it just hasn't gone that way. And, I used to like Real Madrid, but something about them, they're really starting to get on my nerves. So I can't say that I'm not enjoying their downfall and I'm not relishing every single second of it, because I know that eventually these guys are just gonna perform some black magic and become the best team in Europe again. Now it's all well and good, just hating on them and enjoying their downfall, but I really wanted to sit down and talk about why I feel like the team has capitulated the way that it has. And I think that it stems from three key reasons. I think the signing of Mbappe has really messed them up. I think the management of the squad has been quite shocking. And I think in general, just the way of playing and the players themselves have just not been good enough. I mean, we saw Vinny say he's going to win or try 10 times harder for the Ballon d'Or. He's been about 100 times shitter. This is the version of Vinny that I've seen all season. He is a glorified pace merchant. And I will die on that hill. He's not Brazilian, bro. See, guys hate on Martinelli for not being Brazilian. No skill, no tech. But Vin is the same way. This guy, he shifts the right analog. He just kicks the ball long and he just sprints. And I don't think he's always been like that. I think I don't know what's going on this season. It could be Mbappe, which obviously I'll get onto that issue later. But I think that just he might be suffering from some sort of confidence issues, because obviously Mbappe coming in, he's on paper the best player in the world, and he might sort of feel like he has to prove himself even more, and because of that he might sort of feel that he isn't good enough the way he is, so he's trying to overcompensate, which I feel like you can tell in the way he plays, because you can see he's just trying to do things when he doesn't need to. And because of that, he just loses the ball in stupid ways. Which obviously as a viewer is just gonna give you the impression that he's shit. That, and he is also just kind of shit right now. I don't know what's going on with him. But the first key issue I want to cover is Kylian Mbappe. See, Mbappe came in the summer on a free transfer. Obviously he'd been flirting with Madrid for about 3 seasons, like that one girl you flirt with in class, but you never actually get with. But this time they decided to nip the bud, and Mbappe moved to Real Madrid on a free transfer. Now, on paper, every single football fan was shitting their pants. And who could blame them? You had Vinny and Mbappe on the same team, and Rodrigo. Not to mention they had other players like Bellingham, Valverde, the rest of the team. So it's come as quite a shock to see that for the first couple months of the season, it genuinely looked like Mbappe lost all capabilities and functionalities with his legs. He actually looked like a giraffe on skates. Like, every match I watched him play, he'd just be slipping the whole time. His skills just looked stiff. He looked like, the set threes that try bang step overs, but they don't have the XP to bang step overs. He looked like one of them guys. Now, obviously, Mbappe, he has been worse than he has been in previous seasons, but I don't think that that's necessarily why Madrid have, I guess, capitulated in the way that they have. I think it mostly comes with Mbappe and Vinny's just lack of chemistry and inability to work together, which I don't really blame them. I think this is where some blame has to be put on Ancelotti. He clearly didn't think this through. But you've got 3 left wingers as your front 3. Mbappe and Vinny are both players that maybe less than Rodrigo. Rodrigo can sort of play on both sides and he's sort of more flexible. But especially Mbappe and Vinny, they like to play on the left. They like doing the exact same things, running at players, dribbling at them. None of them want to be a striker. None of them have ever been a striker. So I don't know why Ancelotti thought that it would just work. He didn't think this through. And you can see this in the way they play. They just have no chemistry whatsoever. And at points, I feel like, linking back to what I said earlier about Vinny sort of feeling like he always has to prove himself. Sometimes watching them, it feels like they're purposely not passing to each other to sort of prove that one of them is better than the other, which just would not work in a team, obviously. So I feel like that's the first key issue as to why Madrid has capitulated and been dog shit this season. I think the second key reason, I think the bigger reason, is just the appalling squad management from Carlo Ancelotti and the coaching as well. But I think the coaching is a bit less because they did sort of play a similar way last season. But more with the squad management and the business in the summer, and sort of is what I feel has really killed them. I mean, how the fuck can you go into a season having a 36-year-old Carvajal as your starting right back, which obviously fair enough, he had a really good Euros campaign. But look at the backup they had for a 36-year-old. They had Lucas Vazquez. See this Vasquez guy, he is actually a terrorist. I don't know how the fuck he's gone under the radar and played for Madrid this long, yeah. He might be one of the worst right backs I've ever witnessed. He has the attacking capability of a shit player. He's like Trent, but if Trent was equally shit at both defending and attacking. He's so shit that Fede Valverde, who's a centre mid, is being played in right back over Vasquez. Imagine someone that doesn't even play in your position is playing in your own position over you because you're that shit. I also don't feel that it's just Lucas Vazquez. I feel like that's not the only part of the squad that has been managed terribly. I think that they have just completely neglected some of their players. I think that players like Arda Güler have just been done so dirty. I don't understand how a player like that, who is so unique to everything else Madrid has in the squad, they don't really have a midfielder that will break the lines or will create something. Obviously, they have players like Bellingham and Ceballos and Valverde and Tchouameni, but these players they're more sort of, how do I explain it? They're more like, or I should say, they're less like creative players, if that makes sense. Obviously, they're all really good technically, but they don't really have that creativity that a player like Arda Güler does, which is why I feel like the blame has to be shifted onto Ancelotti, because at the end of the day, he is the one deciding who plays and who doesn't. So to leave out Arda Güler for so much of for basically the whole season, and give him such limited minutes when he is someone that is, not only is he unreal at football, but he's also just a very unique and different type of player compared to the rest of the players you have in the squad. Which is where I feel like Ancelotti, this guy has to go. He has to go. There's only so many pieces of gum, so many eyebrow raises, so many cigars that can get this guy out of trouble. He's a fraud, bro. His tactics are just vibes, bro. Nah, can we actually deep? When was the last time we saw Madrid play with some sort of philosophy, bro? This guy I guarantee you, just says to the players, bro, do whatever the fuck you want. Go out there and just play football, bro. And do you know what pisses me off the most? He'll do his shit little eyebrow raise, and guys will start dick riding him. Oh, this guy's cold. Oh, he's this. He's got so much aura. He's fucking senile. He does the eyebrow raise because he's stimming, bro. This guy should be in the old people's home, not in the fucking touchline. Get him out of the fucking club. Get him out of the club now, bro. Now that I'm deep in it, yeah, I don't know why it's just taking this long to click in my brain. He might be the most overrated manager I've ever seen. What the fuck? What sort of tactics has this guy employed, bro? All he does is bang black magic every game, bro. That's all Madrid do. Even the Champions League in 2022, bro. You think these guys weren't banging Judge to be making those type of comebacks? They were 100% banging, Judge. Bro, I'm telling you, this Ancelotti guy, he needs to be studied, bro, because his fraud rating has to be a 10 out of 10. And now that, because not everything has gone his way and everything hasn't fallen into place, and maybe the black magic ain't worked, but hey, I don't want to say that because I'm gonna leave the black magic thing. But now that everything's not going his way, I feel like he's been exposed for the lack of sort of coaching that he's employed on the team. I really don't think he's employed much coaching. I don't know what the fuck these guys are doing on the training ground, except for fucking playing rondos and laughing with each other and talking about remontada, all that bullshit, yeah.
These days. Remontada?
I don't get it, bro. I really don't get it. Another thing I forgot to mention was Madrid are they're an embarrassment, bro. I don't know what's going on with the social media team, the players in the team. They're just fucking cringe lords, bro. And they're some fucking crybaby. Like, the first time I noticed this was the Ballon d'Or ceremony. You know, the one where Rodri won? These guys didn't even turn up for the ceremony because they knew Vinny wasn't winning. What sort of childish behavior is this? Like, this is what I really dislike about Madrid. It just seems like they feel like they're entitled to everything when, what the fuck are they entitled to? Rodri won the Prem, won the Euros, and was Man City and Spain's best players in both of those tournaments. So I don't know why they felt so hard done by or cheated to the point where they were like, oh, we're not gonna go, we're gonna boycott. Like, bro, Vinny, don't get me wrong, he was unreal last season, but it was not something that should have been set in stone the way that they made it out to be. So that was the first thing. not turning up to that is really unprofessional. But then we have, for me, what was probably the best Champions League tie I think I've ever witnessed. The Madrid v Arsenal tie. That build up to the second leg is the most embarrassing week I've ever seen from a club ever. Not to mention a club like Real Madrid. These guys were rinsing out that remontada term. Like, bro, you see, back in the day, yeah, Madrid didn't need to talk about no remontada, all that, bro. Because guys just knew that they were going to do something. They had guys like Ronaldo on the pitch, yeah. He was slapping a hat-trick within 10 minutes, bro. And that was the comeback. They didn't need this whole week of hype to be talking about, oh, we're going to come back. The biggest word in the change room over the week has been remontada, all that. Like, it's just cringe, bro. And even the fucking Twitter talking about, oh, what the fuck did it say? Like, oh, 90 minutes in the Burnabout is a long time. Like, bro, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, the Burnabout and the club, like, it's like they were compensating because they knew they were dog shit. So I just found that whole sort of mini arc really funny, first of all, as an Arsenal fan, and secondly, really embarrassing because it just fucking is embarrassing, ain't it? Like, what the fuck are they talking about? Remontada, every post. But the biggest instance of these guys being some crybaby bitches was the whole Copa del Rey ref fiasco. These guys, they were trying to boycott the game, bro. And you know why, bro. They don't give a shit about the refs, bro. Or they do, obviously, but that's because they want an advantage, bro. They were scared of Barca. They were terrified. And that's the thing with Madrid is, it's like it's like they're insecure. They're an insecure club, it seems. And they just seem to always try to compensate for things with their history, with making excuses, with saying everything's against them. When, let's be honest, bro, the refs that fucking ref Madrid matches must be about 1,000,000 times richer than every other ref on the whole dunya, bro. Because these guys get paid off every single week. I just find them as a club now to be they're just cringe. And I just get sick of, I'm getting sick of them, bro. I've liked Madrid my whole childhood, the whole time I've grown up. But now I'm just really getting sick of them. But anyway, folks, that is all we have time for today. I know that the video took a bit of a more emotional tone compared to the first half of the video. But I just wanted to spread some hate today because they deserve it. If any club in the world deserves hate, it's Liverpool first and then it's Madrid. Those two clubs, I'd pay to watch them fucking burn to the ground. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, subscribe, comment what you think, if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying. Feel free to say, I mean, I'm not gonna fucking cry. If you have a different opinion to me, I don't really care. I know I care, but I'm not gonna change mine. Anyway, see ya.